screw your head on right. Number one, get clear on the fact that, this is not another shiny object. This is not another thing you're going to spend $100 on and like put it on the shelf. And if it is, walk away. Don't do it. But if you're ready to change your life, if you're ready to take yourself seriously, if you're ready to take your future seriously, this will work for you to the degree that you work it, period.
Boom! What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larson. Welcome back to the One Funnel Away Story Show. I'm asking awesome entrepreneurs about their journey and what it took to get where they are. I have the good pleasure of having on with me today Alex Elliott. She's amazing. I've had a chance to meet you. It was about 6 months ago, I think, and hang out. And
it was in August, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was that long ago, and already. It's been awesome. Crazy fun to watch you. Welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now, just so that everyone, I guess, could you tell us about yourself? Where are you from? Tell us just kind of a little bit about you, and then I'd love to hear about your journey.
Absolutely. So I'm actually from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's where I am right now. So if it's cold where you are right now, sorry. But yeah, from Fort Lauderdale, and I am, in my prior life, I was a board certified nurse practitioner. So taking care of patients, did that for over a decade. That was kind of my world, but I would come home at night and like try to make it online, like nights and weekends. That was my thing. And really? Suddenly here we are.
That's incredible. Wait, so what made you start getting it? So you're a nurse practitioner. How long were you doing that?
I did that for over a decade. And prior to that, had other gigs. I have an original degree in creative writing. So I was doing like some ghost writing for people and things like that. About 14 years ago, got the bug. I was like, I have to make it online. I must. Like it was a must. And so all my spare time, all my nights, my weekends, my holidays, like, no, guys, I can't come out and hang out tonight. Like, I have to figure it out, So, long journey, but totally worth it.
Nurse practitioner. That's not small hours. that's an intense
I had
job.
A clinic. I had it was a big deal. I had a clinic and a staff, and I was doing 12-hour days, and it was intense, and it was very, you got to do rounds at the hospital and all sorts of fun things. So yeah, it was intense, and definitely got some gray hairs out of it. But, it was what I loved. I love my patients. Like I'm just a big lover. So I cared a lot about people, but I also started to see the direction I was taking in this country. And I was getting less and less time to actually spend caring for people and more time on bureaucracy and paperwork and insurance. And it was tearing me apart. And I started to feel like part of the problem, not part of the solution. And I just couldn't. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with it. So I was like, I gotta go. I gotta figure it out.
So what finally made you like, okay, I need to go, but you go into creative writing, did you just start doing stuff online? What happened there?
For a long time, I was just doing stuff online, and I'm talking about like throwing the spaghetti, doing all the things. I was like Amazon, FBA, Shopify, eBay, all the things. Like I just was trying everything. Yeah. And like, I think a lot of people, I was suffering from, severe shiny object syndrome. And if something didn't work in a month or two, I was like, it doesn't work. I'm on to the next thing. And so, I think that I had to kind of fall on my knee and learn the lessons of how this all works and how a lot of it is right between your ears. Right. Yeah. So, and I was used to being very successful offline. And so it was extremely frustrating to not find success online. I was like, I'm not dumb. This is crazy. Like, why can't I do this? Right. But the lessons are different. Everything is, it's just a different kind of game. What actually happened, the clinic that I was working for, I ended up getting a call one day on my desk. I'm seeing a patient and they're like, pretty urgent. Everybody needs to, like the entire company, we're meeting in the auditorium. And I'm like, I have patients like waiting outside my door for me. Like, what do you mean we're meeting in the auditorium? They're like, nope, mandatory meeting auditorium. I'm like, okay. So hang up, walk out, let everybody know, hey, sorry, we're going to have to reschedule. Got a situation here. Go into the auditorium. We wait for 45 minutes. And the actual owner of the clinic, who you never saw, walks in, ashen face, and he comes in to tell us we have 45 minutes to, I was working actually at an inpatient outpatient facility for drug and alcohol addicts at the time. And they're like, 48 hours. We have 48 hours to move everybody. We're filing for bankruptcy. Gigs up. And I was like, So not only did we have to move all the patients in 48 hours, I was out of a job completely. And I thought to myself, and I was the only breadwinner at the time, and I thought to myself, okay, this is never happening again. This is never happening again. I will never put my financial future, my family's financial future in somebody else's hands again. Wow. Just not going to happen. Wow. So that was the sticking point for me. And I went on a 2-year journey to figure it out. And I did something that I don't recommend people do, but I said, it's my Hail Mary. I cashed in my 401k and said, I'm going to try. That's what I did. And so for the next 2 years, really buckled down in a full-time capacity, because I'd only done part-time until then, full-time capacity. And towards the end of me running out of my 401k money, I came across the One Funnel Away Challenge. So serendipitous, so amazing, so everything that I needed actually, and didn't know it.
So you went in, and what was the first thing you tried? I mean, after you lost the job? So
a digital marketing agency. Yeah, I tried to run Facebook ads and failed spectacularly. It was awesome. And I got this idea. I was like, I'm gonna watch supplements. So I did all the branding and all the things. And then I realized there's a whole lot of legislation and stuff. And you can't just say whatever you want to say, right? The FDA has all this. So all my awesome marketing copy started just getting watered down. And I was like, oh, I hate this. I just hated it. I just didn't want other people to have that kind of legislative over my copy. So kind of the oomph for that. And I know you understand what that's like. Yeah, I see what you're going through with secret MLM hacks right now. So, so I was like, don't want to do that. And the final, there was probably a Shopify store or two in there. And then the final incarnation was a Pinterest marketing agency of all things. I was doing Pinterest marketing, started to actually get some traction with that actually. And then hit another wall. I had a crazy personal thing happen. My mom got into a horrific accident and ended up from 1 minute to the next. She went from awesome, vibrant, 76-year-old woman to completely disabled, in a heartbeat. And so as the healthcare provider in the family, and the only healthcare provider in the family, it fell on me. And so the Pinterest marketing agency that I had started, I didn't know about delegation. I didn't know about systems. I didn't know about SOPs and teams and all the things to really let it run without me. I was a one-man show. And so the 12 hours a day, 7 days a week that I was grinding, those were gone. And when those are gone and you don't have systems in place, so is the income, so are the clients,
business,
yeah, it's all gone. So that was the backdrop to me. Wow. About a month and a half later, finding the OFA. I was in a dark place. I was like, I don't know what to do. Yeah.
That is terrible place to be in. Yeah, we've all.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been in this game at all for any amount of time has hit that at some point. You're like, holy crap. What
am I gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then you go through. Digital agency, supplements, few Shopify stores. This thing happens with your mom and makes it so you need to do some more adjustments. And kind of a one-man show. What were you running at the time you did the first One Funnel Away?
What was I running? You mean as in what was the thing that was going to make me money or whatever? So
yeah.
So what ended up happening is we were getting down to our last $1,000, and my other half was like, I got your mom. You need to have us figure it out. That was the mandate. Figure it out. I was like, okay, got it. Okay. I'll figure it out. And I think that I just went on this hunt of how do I figure it out? Came across affiliate marketing. Came across SaaS affiliate marketing, software-based affiliate marketing. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I don't even have to have my own product. Are you kidding? This is amazing, right? So I hadn't even heard of this stuff. And I was so excited. I had heard of it in another incarnation. I'd had a niche site, some niche SEO site, in 2013 or something, but hadn't really done much with it. But this was different. There's I can put it in a funnel and all these things. I ran across Chris Fong's blog. I'll never forget. Smart Business Trends. I ran across that blog. He's talking about the OFA and affiliate marketing and all this stuff. And I'm like, light and funnel. Oh my gosh, I can do this. This is so cool. And when he talked about One Funnel Away, I was like, this is worth 1/10 of what's left. This is worth $100. Let's go. Let's do this. I got it. I got it right away. Yeah. So I jumped into OFA, and the very first thing I thought was cool. Oh, they have an affiliate program? I'll promote OFA. Yeah. That's easy. That was how I got my start. And it was spectacular. Just modeled what worked. And the reason I even knew about modeling what worked was OFA. Right? I just took what I was learning internalized it and was like, cool, how can I be meta about this and like do it right here, right now and make money? Cause
Yeah.
I was coming from a place of like, gotta happen right now. Let's go. Like, gotta make some money. So
That's amazing.
that was how we started.
So you went in and when did you take One Funnel away?
I took it February 25th was the cohort that I was in. So it started at right end of February. That first week I'll never forget was Belief Week. And Russell was just like exploding all my limiting beliefs. And I was like, I can do this. This is amazing. Like I was so pumped after Belief Week. And then like, I remember, I'll never forget you were like publish daily. You said something that like, still rings inside of me. You were like, publish daily, publish daily, publish daily. He or she who publishes daily, like for a year, 365 days a year, you will not want for anything. Like you will not lack. You will not go hungry. And I'm like, I want that. I'm going to sign up for that because I'm feeling a little hungry right now. Like I'm scared. So I'm happy to say like I have not missed a day of publishing since I heard that come out of your mouth.
Oh,
so I just want,
cool.
and I want you to know, across all channels, $235,000 later. Yeah. Thank you.
Holy cow. That is, I mean, that's like, what is that? That's like February. We're talking 8 months ago, 10 months ago, something like that.
It's 8 or 9 months ago. Yeah. It's
smokes.
crazy. Because I only got started at the beginning of March. Yeah.
You exploded because what was that? A few months later, that's in August when we were doing the affiliate. You were one of the top affiliates a few months later and hanging out with all the top affiliates with us at that lake house. I mean, like,
dude, I was so scared. You don't even know. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. Like,
you're killing it though. That's amazing. So then you went in and obviously learned how to be an affiliate very well. You're publishing every day, recommending it to people. And what's your business now?
So my business has shifted. It's been a very interesting year. You said publish daily, which created a follow-up problem, right? Which is awesome. Yeah. Like as these things do. So I'm like, cool, publish daily. Got it. Where? I'm like, where do I put, do I go on Medium? Do I go on YouTube? Like, where do I go? Yeah. And so like the nerd that I am, I made an Excel spreadsheet and I started to like social media hack all of the top ClickFunnels affiliates. Cause I'm like, all right, they're doing it right. Let me figure this out. So I got like Spencer Meekum and like Zeki Ahmed and all like Doug Boughton. Like I got everybody on a spreadsheet. I'm like, okay, what are they doing? I've got like listed out and I realized, so I go and I all their YouTube channels. I'm like doing all the things and I see they all have Facebook groups. I'm like, okay, cool. A Facebook group. That's awesome. I go join all their Facebook groups. It hits me like a ton of bricks, Steve, because I'm all in the funnel world. And I'm like, oh, a Facebook group is just a living, breathing, high converting sales funnel. That's all it is. Like you come in and literally like, there's the opt-in. Hey, let me give you this free thing. Give me your email address. Cool. Opt-in page. They come in. What are you doing? You're building like KLT factor. You're like, no, like trust. You're serving them. You're like all the things here, go here, watch this video, do this. Cool. And then what happens? Boom, you make him an offer. Like you tell him a good story and then you make him an offer and like money comes out the bottom. It is a high sales funnel. I was so excited by this realization. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. So I made this Facebook group. That's what I started doing. And the next follow-up problem was, what am I going to publish? Like, what am I going to say? Like, I don't have anything of value, right? Like I was confused. So I go hacking my competitors. Doug Boughton was like the guy to beat for me because he was like 2 months ahead of me. And I'm like, what's Doug doing? So I go check him out. He's literally, it was so beautifully elegant and simple. I was like, I can do this. He's literally taking the OFA. So every day he'll like watch the videos, do the thing, implement in his business, and then go live in the evening and be like, hey guys, here are my takeaways. I watched the videos. Here were the big things that really impacted me. Here's what I did across the course of the day, implemented in my business. Let's shop it in your business. And I was like, I can do that. I can do that. So I reached out to him. I was like, Doug, are you cool if like I kind of do the same thing, but like with my spin? Like I know you're really good at design. I'm absolutely horrific at design, so don't worry. I'm not even talking about that. Like I'll just pretend it doesn't exist. We're gonna find a who, not a how. I said, but my jam is copy. Like I told you I had a creative writing degree, so I was all about the copy angle. So I'm like, I'll take a different angle. It's cool. He goes, dude, let me send you my slides. Blessings. Go do it. I'm like, what? So he literally sent me his slides that he had created because he'd done this for like a month or two and was just working off the old slides. So
amazing.
Got Doug's slides. And with his blessing, I started doing the very same thing with my own spin on it. And that's how we got started.
And then
it was beautiful, man.
Exploded, went crazy. And you teach.
And then I teach Facebook groups now. And the only reason I did is because my Facebook group blew up from all that I'm doing and people were noticing. And so they all started jumping in and going like, what are you doing, man? Like, how are you growing this thing? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was like moving too fast to know. And then I decided I better codify and formalize my knowledge in this area because I was getting so many questions that I was like, I don't want to sound stupid. So I did what entrepreneurs do. You take out the wallet, you invest. So I invested in all the kind of top Facebook groups, courses, saw what was going on in the marketplace. I actually got myself a Facebook groups mentor, who's actually in a totally not even in the MMO space at all. Like he's in like the keto niche, and he was blowing up. And I was like, okay, what is the deal? What do you guys know that I don't know? Like I need to formalize this. So learned as much as I could, implemented, optimized, tweaked, figured it out, like put my own spin on things. And then once I was ready, I was like, all right, guys, I was just going to come back to my group and like tell them what I learned. And then it kind of went a little bit viral. It kind of got a little bit ahead of me. It was fun. And so yeah, created the one group away challenge. And that was my tip of the hat, my nod to the one funnel away challenge where I got my start. I was like, it's only right that I pay my respects. So that was my one group away challenge. And we put it in a challenge format because nobody was doing that. So I saw an opportunity to do something different in the marketplace, and challenges were hot. So it made sense.
And then it blew up and you have passed $250,000 and it hasn't even been in a year.
Yeah, basically.
That is so amazing. I mean, what a crazy journey too. I mean, all over the place. All of us have something like that. But incredible to go through and see this in practice and what you're actually doing, pulling off with it. What's been some like, all right, so you're taking the one funnel away challenge the first time, and your stuff is rough, right? You're spending the last tenth of the money you actually have on this stuff. It's the publishing piece. What else would you say? What was the second thing that really was like, oh man, this is it?
Yeah. So, okay, there are three things. I can point very distinctly to three things. Number one, the belief that I can do this. Okay. That there's nothing different between me and anybody else who's having success. And I'm seeing other people have success, and I am like, there's no difference. My time's coming, and if I just continue to show up every single day, I will win this game. So I just developed a rock solid belief. That was number one. Number two, the publish daily was enormous for me. Just keep showing up. Yeah. Like if you just keep showing up, 9 out of 10 of your competitors can't keep up with that.
Yep.
So if you've got the stamina,
it has nothing to do with
even
that.
If you're bad, I was terrible in the beginning. Even if you're bad, and you're going to find your voice by showing up. Now I was like all sweaty and splotchy and terrible. Like now I love this. So you just got to keep showing up. So that was number two. And then number three was hook, story, offer, hook, story, offer, hook, story, offer, and learning how to craft irresistible offers, right? Learning how to so heavily engineer an offer in your prospect's favor that like they cannot do anything but say yes. Yeah. Like that for me was so exciting. So, and really just like, that's the challenge. That like, how can I make this so stupid that they have to say yes? Like that's the game. That's the game. So yeah, that's those are the three kind of, I would say, big dominoes that I learned in OFA that just changed everything for me. Everything. I'll never be the same. I will never go hungry again. I know that now. Yeah. Like that's fun. That's fun.
Huge deal. It's so awesome. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh.
Deal. Yeah, it is. It's nuts.
Man,
so it's good.
I love your energy. Love the fact that which it doesn't always feel that way in the middle of it, or at least it's very bad energy. You're like, oh my gosh, and stuff's going through.
It's a slog sometimes. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, like it's particularly in the beginning when you're not, when you're not seeing the fruits of your labor right away. Yeah. In the beginning, you could be like, oh, there's like all this self-doubt and like whatever, but just keep showing up. Like that's the lesson. Keep showing up. If anybody's read the book The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. That book is everything in terms of mindset in this game. Everything. Like there's a time to plant, a time to cultivate, and a time to harvest. And in our culture, we think for some reason we can go from plant to harvest without the cultivation period. You have got to cultivate. And that's that period of, you don't see the farmer screaming at the seed he just planted in the ground. Like, why don't you sprout already? Like he just knows that he's got to show up every day, water it, sun, like give it a few months. It's going to grow. Like we know that, but we don't think that way anymore in this culture. So this book gives you that perspective. Just keep showing up.
So, I mean, in closing, you've been this gold mine here of experience as well, in such a short amount of time too. It's not a long. I think that's what's so powerful for me too, watching everyone and doing these interviews. It's like we're talking in months, not like years or even decades. Yeah. It's crazy. What would you say to somebody who's got $1,000 left in that spot, and they're like, oh my gosh, I tried so much.
This is what I would say. I would say screw your head on right. Number one, get clear on the fact that, this is not another shiny object. This is not another thing you're going to spend $100 on and like put it on the shelf. And if it is, walk away. Don't do it. But if you're ready to change your life, if you're ready to take yourself seriously, if you're ready to take your future seriously, this will work for you to the degree that you work it, period. And just go there. It is the single best marketing education on the planet for the single lowest price, period, full stop. I've spent close to over the 14 years, literally almost mid six figures on my own, knowledge, coaching, courses, God knows what. The most impactful experience I've ever had with the lowest dollar investment. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
You're so
awesome. So fun having you on here and then chat with you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate you, Steve.
Hey, thank you so much for being on again, and have a good one.
You got it. You got it. You too. Bye-bye.